For the audience that's tuning this channel for the first time, I'm Alice Sinclair and I write short stories with reflections. Why do I tell them in English if I am not an English native speaker? Because I want to share them with people from different parts of the world. We have an interesting story for today. Have you thought that what's going on in our inner world is reflected in our reality? Today's story, which title is Looking at the Inner Mirror, is about that. Let's go straight into it. A delicious smell from the kitchen filled up the rest of the house. Caroline had prepared dinner for Rupert, her husband, who had told her on the phone he was about to get home. She had prepared a special meal to have a romantic evening by candlelight. As time passed and Rupert didn't arrive home, Caroline called him because she was becoming nervous. "Darling, are you on your way home? I have a surprise for you," she said sweetly. "Oh, don't bother me, stupid woman. I'll get home when I finish my affairs," he said aggressively and hung up. 2 hours later, when the dinner was cold, Rupert arrived home and slammed the door. "Hello, darling. How was your day?" Caroline asked him. "I was fired," he answered back roughly. Rupert was good for nothing. That was the truth. He couldn't keep a job for a long time. He only wanted to smoke and drink beer in front of the TV, while Caroline served him as if he were a king. Caroline was a French teacher, having to work long hours to support the house, because Rupert wasn't employed most of the time. "Oh, don't worry. You'll find a better job. Let's have dinner together, my love," Caroline told him. "You're a badly cook. I bet that the dinner is tasteless and disgusting," Rupert said, laughing at her. Caroline thought she had to make an effort to improve herself, to become a better wife and have a baby. She really wanted to become a mother. One day, after having lunch, Caroline asked Rupert, "Sweetheart, don't you think it's time for us to have a baby?" "If you get pregnant, I promise I'll throw you through the window, with baby included," Rupert answered back furiously. "Look at you. Your nose is like a hook. Who would want to have a baby with you? You're lucky that I married you." Caroline went to work with her heart into pieces. She had to hurry to get on time to the institute where she worked. She was an excellent teacher. Everybody loved her because she was sweet and had a lovely manner. Her students enjoyed her classes a lot. That day, before leaving the institute, Pat, her friend, found her crying behind a cupboard. Caroline told her about her husband and how he treated her. "He doesn't deserve you. He's a jerk and a nasty person. Why don't you come with me to a self-help group?" Pat asked her. Caroline didn't want to accept at first, but she felt she had to put an end to that situation and agreed to go with Pat. The group was awesome. They learned to increase self-esteem, believe in themselves, and achieve their inner goals. Every day, Caroline looked at herself in the mirror and said in loud voice, "I'm worthy. I deserve to be loved. I have an appealing personality. I deserve a loving husband and a great family." Suddenly, she realized that her marriage with Rupert was destroying her, and that she was reflecting in her relationship with her husband what she thought about herself. Fortunately, that had changed. She decided to divorce Rupert and move to another city. One day, she left home, leaving Rupert a note, and never came back. A few weeks later, Robert received the documents to get divorced. As Caroline had left him all her belongings and the bank account, he agreed and signed the papers. Caroline didn't mind losing the material things. Now, all that she earned was for herself. She didn't have to support Rupert any longer, pay for his vices, and stand psychological violence. Caroline was a free woman. But the most important thing was that she realized she had a nasty opinion about herself, and Rupert was only reflecting in the outer world the image of herself she had in her inner mirror. Robert, the headmaster of the institute where she was working at that time, fell in love with Caroline and invited her to dinner frequently, using as a pretext that it was to discuss labor matters. Caroline felt valued and soon fell in love with him too. They married on a sunny spring day and had a beautiful wedding. One morning, when they were on holiday, Robert, Caroline's new husband, told her, "Honey, I can't wait to have a family with you." "Oh, I thought that you'll never ask," Caroline answered. "Why are you sad, honey?" Robert asked her. "Because it reminded me of what my ex-husband told me when I wanted to have a baby," she answered. "Oh, leave the past behind. You are so beautiful. Not only do you have an attractive body, but also a lovely soul," Robert said, giving her a tender kiss. A year later, the baby girl was born. Caroline was so happy that she could hardly believe it. When she changed her beliefs about herself in her inner world, the outer reality changed for the better. What can we say about this story? That it shows us the importance of our beliefs and our inner image. As Caroline didn't have a good image of herself, she stood a toxic relationship with Rupert. Only when she changed her way of thinking could she change her outer reality. It's said that the others reflect what's happening in our inner world. When we have high self-esteem and realize we deserve something better, we can take action to achieve our goals. Our inner world is the glue. Our reality only shows us what needs to be overcome to make a quantum leap. Did you enjoy the story? I hope so. It'll be great if you share your reflections about it in our community on Facebook, Storytime Friends Community, and follow us on Instagram, storytime.friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications to be ready for another video. Remember, that's essential to love yourself, to be able to love others as well. Each person is a strategic piece in the puzzle of life because all of us are connected, and if one piece is missing, the puzzle is not perfect and it's not finished. A big thanks to all of you for being here, and as I always tell you, you are the stars.